Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is I, and we are back with part 2 of Shadow Story of the Sonic 06 playthrough / Let's Play. I think I might just start calling them Let's Plays. I'm not sure. I don't really care. It's the same thing in my mind. But after beating Cerberus, we arrived back in Soliana, which is just, it's as boring as you remember it from Sonic Story. You probably may not have noticed this little room. It's right next door to the magic mirror that leads you to White Acropolis in Sonic Story. So it's a real area you can actually explore, but there's really nothing much to it.
How should I know? I just followed my orders and retrieved the item.
But yeah.
Anyway, I have a little favor to ask of you. Could you escort me to the GUN rendezvous point?
Where's the rendezvous point?
It's the ancient castle of Soliana in Kingdom Valley.
Well, looks like that's where we're going next. Kingdom Valley it is. Oh, Kingdom Valley has got some kind of bullshit parts to it, namely to do with the camera. But I'll mention it when I see it, when we get to it. After this load screen. Right, so yeah, like I say, if you head back here, just off to your right is this little room. Oh, no silver medal. I never actually explained what the silver medals actually do, and I think it's mainly just for collector's purposes. I've never actually given a toss about them. I think they're really just like collectibles. They don't really give you anything. It's just for like bragging rights. I'm not entirely 100% certain on that, but that's just what I think is the case. So yeah, obviously we've got to get to Kingdom Valley, so we have to go to the forest, so we have to go through here. And I still think that the map to Soliana's forest looks like a deformed ghost carrying a sword. I'm probably the only one that thinks that though. I mean, look, it's got eyes and a mouth and everything. So anyway, we're in the forest. Upon arriving in the forest, you want to go over here to the shop and pick up an air chip, at least. And I'm going to pick up the memory shard just because I can, even if I never ever use it. I probably should cover what the Chaos Boost moves actually do. Even if I'll never use them. Maybe worthwhile mentioning it. First up is Chaos Snap. Instantly whoops in front of the enemies up to 5 in a chain of attacks. Boost level 2 is Chaos Lance. Fire red Chaos Spears to destroy enemies. And boost level 3, Chaos Blast. Wipe out everything within a 10-meter range. Can be used multiple times. I've never used Chaos Blast, but I have seen videos of it being used in this game, and it looks to be pretty shite. And really weak compared to how it was in Shadow the Hedgehog. And I just read all those descriptions from the manual because, like I say, I never used them. And I'm not that great at describing things. But anyway. To get into Kingdom Valley, we don't have to perform any stupid trials about whether we love Rouge or, anything like that. Whether we love Rouge or Maria. All we have to do is use Chaos Boost to destroy these rocks, which is easier said than done. I mean, you wouldn't know about it right off the bat. To go up there, that is. Unless you spoke to people. But yeah. Luckily we don't have to do any Daft Town missions like, Do you love Rouge or Maria? Pick! It doesn't matter which one you choose because you'll still win the mission anyway. At least you don't have to do that. Here is one of the other vehicles Shadow uses, and it's probably the only ones that's kind of compulsory. There are a few sections and a couple of Shadow stages where you have to use one of these. They're gliders. They just fire off missiles, and there's sections where the gliders tend to be really short, so I don't particularly care too much that they're there. And yeah, as you can see, it's already over. But we're going to come across another vehicle that we have to use as well. But not yet. There's a little section we've got to do with Rouge first. Excuse me. So, as soon as you arrive in this section, just run up here. Up these stairs, you'll notice you can't go on without 3 keys, which is where Rouge comes in. She's the treasure hunter. She can find the fucking keys. So, fly around. The keys aren't all that difficult to find, in all honesty. One of them is inside the castle. You generally want to go after that one last, I think. At least, it doesn't really matter which order you get them in, I don't think. At least not from what I remember. I just always tend to go after the castle one last. But anyway, up here is, I think, the first one behind these laser. You know, the laser wall. You want to destroy all the robots in order to get to it. You can plant... Don't forget you can plant bombs on the walls, and that will get rid of the pesky ones that are higher up. And there. I honestly find this segment of Rouge's out of all the stages Rouge does, this is the one that I think where the sticking on the wall glitch is probably the most noticeable. I honestly didn't notice it as much in the other stages. This stage seems to be the worst for it. I actually think there is one wall in particular which you'll always glitch onto and you can never get off of unless you glitch through the wall. Which basically means utilising a glitch to escape a glitch, which is bullshit. Don't actually have to destroy these, but I just felt like it because I'm an evil bitch. And I have no idea why I'm faffing around, but oh, I can't be fucked. Don't understand why I'm faffing around for. Anyway, up here, another big box guarded by a mech, and that mech is guarding your key. So, simply just destroy him, and then it's key number 2. I think you can go into first person view with firing the bombs, but I've never ever done so because I don't see the point. I'm not entirely sure about that though, I could be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things. I am a noob after all. So anyway, now I'm going after the one in the castle because I can. Like I say, the castle wall, it tends to be the wall which you can get stuck to and not come off of, so you just see what I mean? She's stuck. But nonetheless, plant a bomb on this window and it will become a problem no longer. Destroy every robot in this room and then you get your 3rd key and then you instantaneously switch back to Shadow. Where I can then bitch about something else, because that's what I do. I bitch about things. I am a woman. And no, not all women bitch about things, but I do. I do. But anyway, here we come up to another vehicle segment with Shadow. This is the hovercraft, and this section is a bitch. You can fire little gun pellet things with the hovercraft. But don't go too fast, because if you do, the camera will fuck you over. You will never ever see the towers falling on you, and then the next thing you know, you're just going to be dead. So slow down for this part, because see what I mean? And there's not even any bloody water effects when the thing falls. It's a 360 game, for fuck's sake. You think they couldn't have added just a little bit of water effect? Like I said, this section is just a bitch. Purely because of the fucking camera. And like I say, you have to take it slow, else the camera's just going to fuck you over. You're going to die. First time it happened to me, I was just merrily going along, shooting them, going, you know, at top speed, going along, quite happily. Next thing I knew, the only thing I could see is the water, and the only thing I could hear was Shadow screaming, "No!" Because the camera basically dropped the tower on us, but we couldn't see it coming because it was such a shitty camera. Camera. But yeah. Sorry guys, I had to find this tunnel. This is where you got to go next, through this tunnel. And up through this part. Kingdom Valley's not a bad stage to play with Shadow, but it's just that bit is really bullshit. But if you take it slow, then the tower should never get you. I say should never get you. I wouldn't be surprised if someone actually did have that problem, even with taking it slow. But anyway. I was trying to find out where to go. I believe I had to take an eagle from this point. But I was waiting around for the fucking thing to show up. See? Why couldn't it have shown up sooner? And if it did, how come I didn't see it? I'm trying so hard not to be a whiny cow. But there's just so many things to bitch about with this game. There's a lot of things I actually didn't bitch about with Sonic's gameplay that I probably should have done. But hey ho, I'm actually going to point out the game's flaws now. Where I can. Provided I'm not too tired, or if I'm not in a state of I don't give a fuck. There are a couple of sections in Shadow's gameplay that are remarkably similar to Sonic's, but you know, that's the least of my worries. I mean, Sonic's been doing that for ages, you know, having gameplay segments remarkably similar to each other. I mean, just look at Sonic Heroes. And yeah. You'll find that in this stage and in quite a few other stages with Shadow, in order to proceed, you'll need to defeat every enemy in the area. Not surprising, you had to do this in Sonic stages as well. But it's not a huge problem. It's not my biggest complaint. Like I say, my biggest complaint mostly goes down with the camera, the sloppy controls, and you know, a few little nitpicks here and there. I'm not gonna lie. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I think this game is shit. But I can tolerate it more than I can other bad games. I mean, as bad as this game is, I have played far worse games. This is a terrible game because it is a Sonic game. And generally, considering the fact that he was so popular back in his heyday, you'd think that, well, you should expect that, you know, at least a little bit of quality to him, even if it's not perfect. Games like Doctor Who Return to Earth on the Wii, you kind of expect that to be bad because it's a licensed game. Licensed game generally turns out to be bad. A Sonic game, there's at least a chance it could be good. And quite a lot of Sonic games are good, it's just this one is just a piece of shit. I wouldn't recommend it. I really wouldn't. I mean, it's not the worst game I've ever played. I've played really bad games before, but this is easily the worst 3D Sonic game. No question about it. Is it the worst Sonic game ever made? I'll take it over Sonic Spinball 8. Well, you know, I'll take it over 8-bit Sonic Spinball. 16-bit Sonic Spinball's okay, but 8-bit is crap. You may recognise this segment from Sonic Stage, but the difference is we're going down, not up. So I don't know what the fuck I was playing at. And I really don't know what to say. I mean, I've bitched enough about this particular stage. That's bad if I'm like in part 2 and I can't think of anything to fucking say. I think a lot of it is down to the fact that this stage is almost completely rehashed from Sonic's segment. The only difference is we're going backwards instead of forwards. Oh, and Shadow also makes the stairs collapse. Again, Silver is the dainty one of the three. But Sonic and Shadow, despite the fact that they're very, very fast, the stairs crumble beneath their feet. But Silver, who's as slow as shit... No, nothing. Unless it's his psychic powers that's making him stay up. Yeah. I think I'm nearly at the end of this stage, and thank fuck, because Kingdom Valley is boring as hell with Shadow. Namely because all it is backtracking. The fucking glider is just a fucked up section because of the camera, and I don't like Kingdom Valley with Shadow. I'm surprised I've got an S rank on it. It's just such a boring stage.